Welcome to episode 7 of the Factorio All of the Mod Planets Big Marathon, where we have a 60 times tech multiplier. So we're standing around doing a whole lot of science, and we're going to take a little variation from where we were at the end of last episode and set up for some combat. So let's get two of the best weapon systems in the game into the handcrafting queue. Let's get this off so the shotgun automatically goes to the right place. Let's get some poison capsules in the queue as well, and while we're talking about why we're doing this, we should maybe also be making flamethrower fuel, for which we don't have the stuff, but never mind, we can just sort of set that up with the bots pretty quickly. And then we're going to have to go and find some steel to feed this. So I guess while we do that, we can talk about the rest of the base and what's going on. Yeah, this petrochem build here does solid fuel for the power grid and sulfur for blue science, and that's it. We have a completely different petrochem build that just does plastic for the red chips. We've got a pretty big mall, we've got multiple other malls in multiple other places, because when we are doing a 60 times tech multiplier, we need quite a lot of stuff for quite a lot of expansion. And the thing we expanded to last episode, which we are going to kind of ignore, is down here we have a whole bunch of iron and copper mining that we were going to use for blue chips and red chips, but I think we are going to change. Yeah, I think we're going to pivot on this and just use this for green chips for blue chips. So I don't think bots have red splitters. I think that is one of the things they don't have, which means that this still won't turn on, which is going to be decent for the pollution, but whatever. And yeah, how many do we have 11 belts of stuff in here, and we have, oh, we've messed up this. This is why things looked weird. Yeah, this one wants to change. This one wants to get in here like so, and then I guess this one can. Is that all kind of fixed again? Maybe not quite. Yeah, we had 11 belts of smelting that we had set up, which we just kind of mostly picked as a number of what fitted in here nicely. But it turns out we've got 4 red belts of iron mining, 6 red belts of copper mining, which is a pretty good ratio if all we're doing here is green chips. But I think when we put productivity in the copper, we will need more iron. So we probably can just grab one of these things. This is a ton of space here. This is going to be fine, isn't it? Just going to slap it here. I don't know if this one is doing good value. Oh, it actually is doing some value. Wait, that's one belt. We wanted a red belt worth of stuff. So can we also slap in one of these here, it looks like? And then we're going to need a little extra for the landfill on this side, but I don't think we worry about that at the moment, because we're still kind of yet delayed by everything else that we have to do. Here's a piece of red belt that we can queue, which means that this is not going to be a full red belt, but whatever. Also, maybe you should be powered. And we can bring, in a very similar way, this over here. That all looks like it fits. We're demolishing a bunch of trees. It's probably fine. And then you can get in here, and the rest of these guys can get in like so, more or less. And we're at a point where we don't necessarily have to worry about the costs of these red belts and how inefficiently we're doing this, but whatever. Yeah, we still haven't given them the splitters, so that isn't going to turn on, but that's actually not what we're going to deal with at the moment, because if we go out to the rest of the map, we can see that, oh, we actually haven't got the flamethrowers yet, have we? We should get the steel to get the flamethrower fuel happening, so that that can at least be ticking over in the background. And I kind of wanted to do this differently as well, but that's also one of the things we can just talk about. Oh, also we wanted more capsules. More capsules. More of the capsules. Capsules are really good. I think we grab a whole bunch of coal so that we can just go somewhere else and pick up more green chips, because there are some boxes of green chips around, and we've got a decent amount of steel. Let's get more steel. We are making our own green chips. That's what we don't want to do. Yeah, so we've got 2 distinct science builds. We need to go and look at the purple science as well, and in a bit. Yeah, we're putting our pistols on the ground. If they die, we'll feel pretty bad about that, but also whatever. All of the steel wants to get in here, and now we are in a position. Actually, let's get the rest of these gun turrets into the queue. We need We need to pick up from somewhere the iron to make more gun turrets, and we actually don't have a box of chips at the moment. That's super interesting. I think we're happy with that because it means that everything is pretty much continuing to run. Yeah, okay, fine. We're just going to punch some more of those into the queue. Okay, let's also put the shotgun in the Pistols of Shame area. Not that the shotgun needs to feel bad, but this way it will have some friends. And I think we're also going to just quietly... Yeah, I think these guys want to be on a pedestal rather than a walled garden. So maybe we do... Yeah, we can't really see that particularly well, can we? I think we're going to have to find some different textures of concrete when we get around to that. Whatever. You guys are going to make more refineries. Cool. Yeah, let's get making the flamethrower fuel, which we already are, and then talk about what we're going to do instead. Yeah, and the other things that I also wanted to sideload in at the same time into the same concept. Yeah, this is the other build of Petrochem, which is doing a bit of solid fuel for power grid. Power grid is fine. Bit of plastic. Whole lot of red chips. Bots are coming over here to grab... Oh yeah, this is one of the places where we're making solar panels and also where we're making red belts, so that's fine. We do want the base to be in a situation where it's asking for a whole lot of stuff simultaneously, because one of the tricks I want to do in this, and it looks like we've got a bunch spare. Yeah, we want all of these to be upgraded quality prod mods. Is Purple Science really the first thing we want to hit with these module upgrades? Maybe. Are there other... Oh yeah, the other modules of which we will want higher quality that are going to be getting good value are these green chips and these green chips. Green chips, we say, and then also probably a bunch of these gears. Being able to get more stuff out is going to be, for the same amount of iron, is going to be pretty nice. And then also all of these gears for the red science, which I was going to do something different with, which I'm realizing now is going to be actually a little bit tricky and an annoyance. Never mind. And oh, also there's some of them down... Where's the secondary? Yeah, additional mall that's also making belts and inserters and intermediates and things like that. I think this is going to be a good place to... Yeah, the base wants to have... It wants to be asking for a whole lot of modules of better qualities, so that as soon as they fall out of this Purple Science build, because all of these guys are quality moduled, as soon as they fall out of the Purple Science build, we want... yeah, as soon as they fall out of the Purple Science build here, we want them to be going into some part of the base to get more work done, which is nice. And then I think we also want... can we... Is this going to blast the module quality as well? Because I don't think I want... yeah, it is. Don't be doing any of those, yeah. I think we want mostly prod mods in here as well. And I think we're going to... Yeah, we're going to make a couple of quality modules. We're going to make some productivity modules here as well. We're going to have these modules queued because also all of these modules need to filter through here into the Purple Science, because it really looks like the Purple Science is not running much yet, and we kind of want it to be. We've kind of got everything else set up. It would be nice if it did. And then, yeah, all of these guys... We still have quality module upgrades. Yeah, there's 4 more... of these guys, and I don't think we really want to be doing all that much more quality module work until we get to Assembler 3s, which is still a long way away. And then the other thing we want the base to be building as soon as it gets around to it, like as soon as these things appear in the chests, are solar panels. Yeah, so get rid of these two. We still haven't explained why we're doing the combat yet, have we? Can we get another nice diagonal long-range roboport over here somewhere? Yes, here. And that will mean that, yeah, all of the solar panels, as soon as we make them, will be getting us more value if we put them on the map somewhere, so we're going to do that. And then, yeah, we don't quite have line of sight on how far we can go with the other solar panels in this direction, but also whatever. And yeah, just make sure that the base, as soon as it makes these items which are kind of an investment, they go onto the map and start paying themselves back, is the plan. Give me this, actually, give me, where, from here? And so some of them all is just going to be putting things in boxes, which we will get around to putting on the map later. And then some of them all, the solar panels, the efficiency modules, because the efficiency modules don't really do anything new. Like, they don't online new capabilities. They just make more efficient the things that are already happening. Do we have... Yeah, we've got modules in there. It's fine. Power grid is also still super fine. Yeah, so we've already built enough solar panels for maybe a third of the grid that we are using, which is nice. And now, as soon as the base builds these things, they'll go on the map. It also keeps bots busy. Was there something else I was going to do with the purple science? There was, because we're probably doing pretty fine for flamethrower fuel now, aren't we? Yeah, we are. We are pretty good there. Yeah, we're kicking along at nearly 700 science per minute, which is nice. And so it struck me that if we're trying to do more than 450, and we are, then this belt here, coming out of this purple science buffer, of which we've already got, nearly 3,000 purple science, that's pretty nice. This needs to be red belt if we are going to do more than 450 science per minute, which we are trying to. So this is the first science we built. It's kind of overlapping the patches a bit. No big deal. Just get those underground. And then somewhere, yeah, over here, red belt please, was where we were going to squirrel this through. And also using red belts here means that this underground will go up a little bit better. Yeah, will fit more easily. This section is just for belt delay. At this point, after we've taken off some of the science here, we can probably be happy having less than 450 science here, so that's fine. And then it can just go under there into these labs. But then the next thing that struck me is if we're doing purple science yeah, we can now do purple science at 900 per minute because of belt capacity. I don't think we're making, yeah, neither red nor green we are making at that rate. Blue science is, yeah, in this buffer, and then also we are hand feeding it over here in a way that is, first of all, a mess, but second of all, could actually support 900 science per minute. And we are currently doing less than that, and also to connect to the 4 other things that we're talking about at the same time, yeah, we need to do combat to get rid of this base, to get rid of these guys, of which I think we're actually polluting these guys. I think they're actually going to attack us, and we don't have a whole lot of defenses around the place yet. We need to attack these as well, and yeah, the plan now is going to be, this is only going to make green chips for blue chips, and maybe also we take green chips back to the base, because I am not happy with the patches around and trying to make its own plastic here. And so what we're going to do instead is we're going to wander, like this area here looks like a fantastic place for making a lot of red chips. We've got the iron for green chips, we've got a whole lot of copper, we've got the coal, we've got everything we would want. And then also down here, there's another place where we have all the resources that we could want to be making red chips, but then we need to put those on a train to take them either back to purple science or to the place where we're going to be making blue science. And the issue at the moment is we have purple science, but we don't have any of the other train tech unlocked. In fact, I think we're going to reorganize all of this, kind of, because we're not in a position to need the blue science yet. If we get lab speed 3, then yeah, automated rail transportation. If we're doing trains, the other things we're going to need are all the stack insertion capacity bonuses. How much does Assembler 3's cost? Okay, we have not made that much purple science yet. We have a nice purple science build, but it's not actually that big. Oh, fluid wagon, yeah, we're going to need that soon, but hopefully not yet. What was beacons was the other thing that I was... Oh, beacons are after blue science now, aren't they? So we would still have to do the blue science if we wanted to rush beacons, even though we have nearly that much purple science. So the idea behind all of this is we're going to rush trains into the queue so that we can start. Oh, and also we wanted landfill at some point, and we wanted, yeah, just a lot of these other red and green techs. Oh well, concrete as well for multiple reasons. We want everything that concrete does. But the point being, if we can get the lab speed done, then we can maybe even get this up to 900 science per minute if we boosted either the red or the green science. And I believe we have speed modules sitting around, so I think we're just going to go one speed module in U, copy and paste all of this all the way across, and we should have done a little boost of green science, although I'm not sure that we have... How have we got gears on both sides of this thing? Ah, super interesting. Wait, why have we got gears on both sides of this thing? One of these things... Because when we copied and pasted this thing, we apparently copied and pasted it from the green chips recipe to the gears recipe. That is mildly unfortunate, because it now means now we've got a belt to clean off. How are we going to... Yeah, we are just going to have to run down that belt and clean it off, aren't we? It's going to be a little bit of a shame. Because the thing I was not sure about... Oh yeah, also we wanted... no, we wanted you to be red science, but we wanted from the map also another speed module in, say... this one, and then all of these guys, and then some of these guys. I mean, there's definitely ways to do this with just more assemblers, but this is kind of the lazy way that costs power grid. I was wondering if we could have like more of these on the other side of the belt, but we've kind of put all of this oil processing in the way. No big deal. Let's see if we can clean off... Oh wait, is this... This section here is fine, isn't it? And then, how have we got wood on this belt? How and where have we got wood on this belt? That is an interesting... Ah, I bet we cut down some trees and left the wood on the ground and then picked it up or something. Okay. I would not like to see these gears in my inventory, thanks. Not really what we wanted to start the episode doing, but oh well. Which side even are supposed to be gears? Okay, so here are the chips. Get these guys out of my inventory. Yeah, you take whatever I've got. Actually, give me some of these back because we can get a couple more gun turrets in the queue. So yeah, immediately rescuing things from disasters. That wood on the belt is an interesting one. The other thing I wanted to check is, where are the green chips getting to the electric engines? And have we messed that up as well? And the answer is yes, because this is supposed to... Okay, this line here is actually supposed to be green chips. So we would like to fix all of this. Thanks. I guess we're going to run past the labs and do that stuff as well. And then this line here also wanted there to be gears. Yeah, so we're going to upgrade plan our way through quality, which is a thing that speedruns don't do, because first of all, you're not... Yeah, we want to be using kind of the offshoots of... Oh, it goes all the way down here because it goes through the drone parts as well. That's super annoying. Things that we did that were silly. On the upside, we can just put all of... And then we've also got... Yeah, we've got a full chest of flamethrowers for when we want to get around to doing stuff like that. This one should be green chips. This one should... Yeah, the top one should be gears for engines. The bottom one should be green chips for drone parts. All of this stuff is just a little bit of a mess. We've got batteries. We've got... I was wondering about handcrafting something else for the personal robot pack. Yeah, some other kind of personal robot kind of... Oh, actually, here we are in the position that... Okay, first of all, I think we want to be buffering more of these things. This is also not really what we wanted to be doing, but also this position here can we... Oh, this one is going to be the most empty, isn't it? So if we put an inserter here and say use filters for gears, then any other gears that end up down here will get in this box, which is not where we want gears, but it's better than them being on this belt, so that's kind of fine. Okay, all of that was a giant mess. Can we have... We can probably have more gun turrets if we find iron from somewhere, so we're just going to walk up to one of these other secondary malls that have a bunch of iron going on. Cool, great. So we want a way to get a whole lot... Yeah, so hopefully we can get the base up to... 22 gun turrets, fine. Hopefully we can get the base up to closer to 900 science per minute. That would be real nice. Via some modules, via some... Do we also have... Okay, so we've run out of speed modules, that's fine. And we also need the lab speed for this to properly kick off. Oh no, it's actually... that's... Yeah, because we were wondering about whether or not... And there isn't. We were wondering about whether or not there was enough belt space to get the green science through that we wanted, and the answer is there isn't, so we kind of need to do a bit of... We're going to do a belt upgrade to there. It's going to be fine. We're going to get more... Yeah, let's actually upgrade it to here as well, so that all these guys can have an easier time getting their stuff on the belt. We have all of those things. We are... Yeah, we're waiting on a bunch of things that the base is just going to eventually get done and be fine, other than speed modules. So, let's have... This is so that all the chips don't fall out. We're going to have... one of you here can make speed modules. We have a high quality module. Okay, you want to immediately get into... Yeah, if we end up with any high quality modules, we can just build better quality modules. All of these... yeah, this is all rare quality prod mods. I guess they're also just going to go into... Yeah, we're going to slot these into the buildings that already have some of their upgrades, so that whenever we make any of those things at quality, we've got somewhere for them to go, which is cool. And then I think we want to go and do... Yeah, so we're going to fight... Are we going to fight these ones yet? I don't know. We definitely want to... Oh yeah, that was the other thing we were going to kick off on parallel, weren't we? We want to fight, I guess, these ones as well, which is going to be sketch. But at least all of these... this Roboport here actually isn't a main base Roboport at all. It's a secondary kind of join. So I think we also want to start pushing Roboports in generally that direction, so we can also just build stuff from the mall. I think that's going to be important. Then I also would like a secondary line of Roboports up there as kind of a ladder, so that we don't just have one line, because we are going to need to be charging a whole lot of bots if they are going a long way. So it's also just see how far we can push these power cables, and then also just make sure we have a lot of robo support. Yeah, a lot of Roboport support all the way up. And we're going to have to extend those as we go, but we can get other Roboports up here as well, which means we can later drop more mining and more efficiency modules. Okay, with all of those things going on in the background, I might need some repair packs, but we're not going to bother with it yet. And we're going to go and do some combat. What else? Because I should have a backup car, probably. I don't think we're doing any of this fighting on the ground. I should also have more bullets. Let's see if we can... Yeah, we're going to be able to push, because we've also got... We've got a lot of grenades, we've got the capsules, we've got a whole lot of tools. We have more gun turrets than bullets, which is hilarious. Yeah, we've got a lot more tools than we really need, especially with these bases that are still pretty small. Do I even want to use... What is that? Why is that UPS a problem? That's not what you guys should be doing. Oh well. Yeah. We should have these capsules on the hotbar as well. There is no reason for UPS to be doing that now. Whatever. So that should help take care of... That should help take care of some of the nests. Yeah, we're doing this a lot more slowly and carefully than we really need to, but whatever. Yeah, there's another nest over there which we can get to later as well. Yeah, the reason why the combat shotgun and flamethrower are some of the best weapons in the game is where they turn up. They're pretty easy to do they're pretty easy to research, they're pretty easy to build. There's some other guys over here that we're going to go and kill as well. These ones look like an expansion base, so they're probably more likely to have worms? More likely to have medium worms? Yeah. And yeah, the combat shotgun in particular, oh, this is actually kind of an awkward nest to fight. We would like... Here, I guess, is where we're going to put all of these on... And we don't have fish, and so the emergency hotkey is actually going to be for the other kinds of capsules. Let's have some defensive turrets in here. Let's, yeah, get a bunch of capsules on those worms, and then just kind of, you know, not worry about it. They're apparently still shooting at me, which is unfortunate. Maybe we just back up a little, and maybe even come back later when they're not around anymore, although they have already died. And yeah, the combat shotgun is just... The fact that it doesn't require any petrochem for its ammunition is also pretty fantastic. And yeah, huge amount of damage that comes out of it. It's real great. It is a bit of a tricky weapon to use because you've actually got to aim. That's just one worm, so it's fine. These guys are going to have to go if we're doing the red chips plan we're thinking about. Yeah, the flamethrower and the... Yeah, we're going to get rid of these guys. We've only got 56 bullets left. Cool. Yeah, sure. Starting with the capsules, they will do great work against the worms, and then we're going to put some shots into this. Yeah, and that's a nice little demonstration there of how a good way to use the shotgun. You don't aim the shotgun at the biters, you aim the shotgun in some direction, and then arrange yourself with your positioning so that the shots hit the biters and then hit something else that you also want to hit behind the biters. And that's a much better way than, you know, doing the alternative of trying to... Okay, we actually did that kind of well there. Trying to hit the biters with the shotgun and then missing, and then all the other bullets going off in some other direction. These guys are all done, which means we can just get in here with the gun turrets. So yeah, we're doing our lab research speed, which is going to be super useful. We are going to use it to get the trains out. We are going to have... we're probably in a position where we can drop some more roboports around here, right? We're going to have long, good power poles up here that are doing long, good power pole things. We're going to have multiple roboports because bots are going to need to charge all the way up here. They can bring all of that stuff over with them. Let's also go over this way and also just keep on with the roboports. Roboport automation is a thing we've already got. Okay. Yeah, we've got a lot of red and green science to do. We have... Let's actually check that the purple science is continuing to build... Yeah, I think previously we saw purple science running sort of the front half of it, and now we've got 3/4 of it running, which is still... Yeah, we still need the beacons. We've still got all of these materials, which we could be hitting a lot harder, but I am okay with that. And yeah, we are slowly running down this red chips buffer, but we do have quite a few red chips sitting around here, which is nice. Are we going to... Okay, this larger base, we're going to need to go back and get bullets to actually kill. Is that true we have? Yeah, we've got a couple of yellow bullets, but not really that many. Let's set these guys up here. Let's get some poison capsules on these medium worms so that it's the easiest way to deal with them. And yeah, flamethrower, also an incredibly effective tool. Actually, let's stand in the acid, apparently. I wanted to flick this to these yellow bullets just quickly. Those noises you can hear are the biters spawning and then immediately dying in the poison clouds. Other reason why poison clouds are nice. Yeah, we've got this yellow ammo as well, which we're also going to use. It's fine. We are not really at the point where it's super important to be getting... No, we're fine. Yeah, we're not really at a point where Yeah, maybe we should be doing this a little bit more carefully. We're probably not going to. It's probably fine. No, some of those guys are in range of worms. Let's use this as the car. The car has hit points. And all we wanted to do at this point was get these capsules in. I'm also not willing to lose the car, so I hope we don't do that. Is there an expansion over this side? There is not. It's fine. Yeah, we can just come back down here and hang out by our turrets. Yeah, it's not really worth using red ammo yet, especially for defense when the biters are the size they are, but also whatever. What is worthwhile is... I think red bullets into nests are probably worth it. But also the combat shotgun into nests is also pretty good value. And now we are, yeah, really in the position where we need to worry about going back to the base, getting a backup car, getting some more bullets, then heading over to this nest again. Actually, let's also, at this point, continue pushing the roboports out. Because we should also be getting close to joining them up with the other networks. And yeah, we're trying to put, what we're doing here is we're trying to put roboports in, first of all, having them nice and close together so that there's a lot of places the bots can charge, and then also hiding them in places that they're not likely to be in the way of anything else because the cliffs are already in the way of everything else, and we don't have cliff explosives yet. But yeah, rearming supply. We've gone back and got some more bullets. We've got a lot of stuff in the handcrafting queue. I think all of these are going to turn into the same fight. So we're going to do all that at once. I also have to remember to use the flamethrower because that's pretty good value as well. But we also want to give the bots some more jobs because I think they need things to do. In particular, it struck me that... yeah, where is it? Down here. This steel buffer is, yeah, we're not currently running all the steel, and we could, so I think we're just going to grab this whole thing. Actually, let's grab the power poles as well. That might make things slightly easier. And have a thing we're going to call the space platform steel buffer. As well as that, I think we'd like to figure out where the stone is and start making wall, because I'm not sure that we have all that much wall spare at the moment. Yeah, copy one of these things, flip it into this direction, so we are still prioritizing into the purple science build, and then grab one of these guys, have you make wall with just any of the stone that falls out the rest of the build, because that's going to be helpful. Power poles somewhere, don't really care. And other things we wanted to do as well. Yeah, there's a couple of miners that are starting to run out. No big deal, not really concerned about that. What we did want is... yeah, we are working towards pushing... we've got to give the bots some more jobs in this general direction as well. Got to get them over to... where, though? Because I don't want to go necessarily too far in the direction of angering... like putting too much in the direction of the other bases to the north that we haven't pushed yet, but we will want this entire... like, we're going to want this iron mine. I think we also... how far are these guys? 14, so that is a whole belt. So let's grab all of this and just give some bots some jobs over here. Now they are connected to the main wall. Where is this going to go? Is it going to go here? Or here? So 1, 2, and then set this back a bit. 3, so we've got 4 lanes of coal there, which we can use for smelting and also plastic. And then we're also going to want, continuing this direction, we're going to want to tap all the stuff over here as well. So let's just run, actually let's do this one a different way, because another thing I wanted to do, which I guess we might be doing from the map over here, because we want to do it without bot support while we are blueprinting it, is the water's going to be in the way for the next thing. If we do this whole thing in a straight line, then we can figure out the maximum extent of where these guys connect. I believe that should be a square. Yeah, pressing R rotates all these power poles, but it's rotating all 4 of those, which means all of those are in the position we want, which means that if we drop some roboports in the middle of this thing, like, this is not going to get built because we're not within range of it, it's fine. The point isn't to have this built, the point is to be able to grab this thing as a framework, and I think we're just going to drop it on the hotbar, and then build towards things we want to build towards. In particular, this iron I might leave later to boost the starter patches, but we are going to have to work up this way from this iron, and I think we are happy asserting that we don't need to worry about... Did we get 1 or 2 there? I think we only did 1 stamp, which is good. I think we're happy asserting that we don't really need to worry about the biters attacking, so we're just going to put that stuff in front of the defenses, because we're kind of in that position now, and the hypothesis here is we're going to need bot support in all these various directions to build all this stuff, so let's keep having a pile of roboports there. Yeah, all these bots are... When we're building this stuff out, they're going to be flying over this void, which the bots are going to complain about, but sucks to be them. But also, we want to have more bots in generally this direction, and I think we can also have another one of these guys over here, so that we can loop around in both directions. And the thing that struck me is, one of the things that struck me is, this little loop in here is currently an Artosis power conduit for the entire base. So the way one of the ways we're going to de-Artosify all of that is loop it all the way around. And then, yeah, this blueprint was also the thing that I wanted over here. Can we dodge the trees and the cliffs? Let's drop it there. Does this actually connect to stuff? I'm not convinced it does, but here we should be able to not get in the way of these poles and stuff. Okay, so also let's have more over here, because we're going to be building in all these directions. And then the other place we wanted to go was down here for all of this stuff, and I believe we have pushed enough of the bases on this side that we're not necessarily polluting at the moment, which means this thing here, where dodges here will dodge all of the... one more radar than we need. Yeah, here will dodge all of the cliffs and things like that. And so we should have a pleasant way of connecting all of that roboport stuff up. Okay, so we're building roboports in multiple directions. I think we do also want to build roboports over here as well in this direction. So bot's going to have all the nice jobs. They're going to be doing that stuff for a while. There's also a pile of rocks that we can have them cleaning up. Yeah, we've done this kind of nasty concave thing. There's going to be some big holes in the middle that the bots are going to fly over and complain about. But also, whatever, don't really care. Oh yeah, what was the module situation like? We've got... Yeah, we do want to keep requesting these module upgrades if we have them. We've also got a couple of quality modules hanging around as well. Yeah, we just want to keep all of these various processes upgrading their modules as we work through them. These guys, maybe we can find some more rare qualities as well for the quality modules in here. Keep on working on that stuff. Bots should always be asking for quality module upgrades. We're not asking for... Okay, the first couple of these guys that are working can also be working for quality upgrades. Yeah, the bots should always be asking for quality module upgrades and efficiency modules and solar panels. We kind of need to stamp some more solar panels so that as soon as these guys come out of the production line, they are immediately helpful to the base. We'll do a thing here. That's as far as that needs to go. And yeah, we are standing... We did assume that we were going to be able to defend a particular position, and we have not necessarily done that yet. We're kind of standing in the way of it. We might get hit by it, but we haven't actually... We actually need to do the combat that will keep the mining secure. So maybe we should also get onto that. Yeah, so that's going to get all of that done. Oh yeah, we also figured out the wood was going into the power poles, how that wood got on the belt. So we've fixed that, and then there are, yeah, mining drills, which we don't really need to care about. We'll get around to that later. Yeah. Let's go and make these nests unhappy. We know we are polluting them a little bit, and there are some worms here, so we're going to start by throwing a bunch of poison capsules out. As long as we do a couple of zigzags here, we should be able to sneak through without taking too much damage and not hitting these rocks. But if we can get some of these poison capsules on all of these worms, that will be great. We don't need all that many of them. And yeah, we've got a lot of bullets. We'd rather not have the car take damage if we can avoid it. Oh, we also put a bunch of speed modules in more of the red and green science, so we should be in a position now of being able to support a lot more... Actually, this is just a... Oh no, that's a situation where we can use flamethrowers. I was thinking this is a situation where we should just be doing combat shotgun stuff. Yeah, we should be closer to knocking out... Are there any other worms? There are no other worms. Yeah, should be pretty happy that we are knocking out close to 900 SPM of the science. Which... You know, that's going to be pretty nice. Other problems will involve, though, that we... Yeah, I don't think we need to get the purple science up to the full 900 SPM, because not all the techs need it. There's a lot of stuff that isn't purple that is yellow and space instead. Do we need to get... Yeah, we're just in constant aggro range, aren't we? Were there... Oh yeah, there are a couple of worms, we should maybe do a little drive-by of... Oh, up to medium spitters. That's nice for them. Yeah, maybe we should check the Evo just to see how far away we are from the bigs. We're probably not that close. 0.46, yeah, probably still fine. Yeah, there's a lot of the text that are... Oh, there's trees here. This is not good. Give me the car back. We also didn't have... Yeah, let's not burn the forest down, but this is one of the things the flamethrower is good for. Is just making bugs die. Do we need to get rid of... Okay, maybe we should have got rid of those as well. Yeah, this is spicier than it needed to be, isn't it? Let's get back in the car, because it's got hit points, and I don't. And maybe all these nests need to go away? Okay. Let's also have... Oh, we've got slowdown capsules that we haven't used. Oh, well. Did we get all of... There's like a couple of worms over there, no big deal. Do I have... Yeah, these guys don't need that many bullets. Those are kind of distant defenses at this point. Yeah, so the idea of trying to build purple science for 900 SPM is a little bit terrifying because of how much steel we would need to push in. That's not what I wanted. I wanted this gun. Accidentally flamethrowed my own turrets there. Good job. Flamethrower is a really good weapon, he said. To be fair, both the flamethrower and the combat shotgun are really good weapons, and they will both hit your own stuff, and it's part of just the skill test of not hitting your own stuff with the weapons that do a lot more damage. But if you can be in control of that, and my plan is to be in control of that, and yeah, there are some guys over here which we will quickly flamethrower. Sucks to be them. Then, yeah, they are the best weapon systems for this point in the game. We did get most of the worms. There's like maybe another worm or two around here. We can just do the rest of this with bullets. We've used most of our bullets, which I think I'm fine with. We still don't have any fish. Not planning on getting fish. It's going to be fine. Yeah, there's like one other worm of the other side. Let's get some of these back. And we should just be able to dive in and... do all this kind of nonsense, and then just get out the combat shotgun and help with some of the nests that need shooting. And it's fine. Yeah, so purple science, I don't think we're going to need to build to 900 science per minute. Yellow and space, I think that also means we don't build to 900. I would like I am thinking of going to not 900, but say 1,300 eventually. Oh wait, do we need to repair our cars? We kind of do, don't we? And maybe we need to repair some gun turrets as well, but I think we are going back before we... one entity is being damaged. Where? Oh, these are the guys that got in. Okay. So we're going to shoot those guys. I was worried about being attacked from a direction that I wasn't anticipating. This direction is the attacks we were planning on intercepting, but not quite intercepting. But yeah, if we do 900 science per minute, that is... you're not in range... Yeah, if we aim for 900 science per minute as a semi-long-term thing, actually, we can just have all of these turrets at this point as well. We don't have... I don't think we have personal roboport yet, do we? We do not. But we are now just going to not defend this area because we're just going to plan on pushing out our borders. Yeah, if we aim for a 900 science per minute base, that we could do with red belt, or in bulk we could interleave red and blue belts to get all the science in. Whereas if we aim for 110 bullets, oh, here's the other bullets. If we aim for... Where is... Yeah, okay. Smash some of this in here. All of those should be... That's going to do exactly what it needs to. We are just going to work on building the roboports out to this area. This is all eventually going to be just big base, yeah. If we work towards thinking about, say, 1.3 thousand science, that is something we need half a blue belt of stuff for, which has the complication that we can't interleave red and... Also, we want to see where this coast goes. We can't interleave red and blue belt because we are planning on using a full blue belt's worth of stuff in. So maybe we do Logibot requests. I wanted to get out here, save these guys. Did we actually need to slow down the capsule those guys? We didn't. I just wanted to get in here to put all these things in. We are fine. We also had... Oh, we didn't have all of the aggro. There was a gun turret somewhere that managed to get some work done. Good job for those guys. Are we still got the shotgun out? We can help. Yeah, so I think we are... I mean, this also means we need to research and then make blue belts, which was probably always going to be a thing. And yeah, where does this coastline go? Because figuring out where we are eventually defending as we build the size of base we are talking about is also one of the things to think about, because we do need it to be secure by the time we leave Narvis, because we're going to have a lot to build in other places. Oh, let's not stumble into that base unless we are deciding to kill it, and we are not yet deciding to kill all these things. Okay, are these lakes, or is this just... Okay, these are just little lakes. These are not really things we can necessarily build bottlenecks around, and this size of base we probably will need landmines to deal with. Is that true? With the medium spitters out, maybe we need landmines. We could do that with gun turrets, but it would be a little bit sketch. Yeah, so I am tending towards thinking of trying to build a base before we leave that does 1.2, 1.3 thousand science per minute with blue belts and request chests to get the number of different sciences we need in, because with belts, unless we are belt mixing, we can only get 6 different kinds of science in. I guess we could do other patterns, but I would rather not do other patterns. Okay, I think these guys need to go. These guys need to go. If these guys go, we can start to drop more mining drills around here, so that would be nice. And then also over here, we want this to start working. I think we want to work up rather than back. If we line this up exactly, we hit a bunch of cliffs, which is not great. Whereas if we put it, say, here, I believe that we dodge all the cliffs. Let's just wander over and check how we are doing to build these roboports out. And yeah, this is all in part of, yeah, these ones are, oh, these are not the ones we were looking at, the ones we're looking at are over here. The not hidden cliffs, not hidden cliffs, not hidden cliffs, all of these guys are not hidden cliffs, which is fantastic, which means we're just going to keep on pushing out this framework and or moyo. That's a joke I've made before, maybe some people like it now as well. Yeah. If we're thinking about how many resources we need, actually we want Roboport coverage over here as well, because we just want to be able to build all the stuff and not care about it. Yeah, the amount of stuff we need to, what did I hit? Oh, there's a rock. The amount of resources we need to be able to build even 600 SPM of purple science is pretty outrageous. What's going on here? Oh yeah, there's some... This is kind of gross, and it's going to continue to be gross, and we won't worry about it. We're just going to have bots building out a lot of roboports. I think here we are going to be mining upwards. So we're just going to grab all this and go 2, 4. Do we want... Because this is all going to be red chips, so we're thinking about having 2 red belts of red chips getting turned into green chips for, yeah, all of this being red iron for green chips for red chips. So I think we do want to go more than that, but I think over here we can do a more, maybe a more traditional kind of, how much of this stuff fits? Maybe we don't get to do a more traditional thing. I was going to do like a compressor over here, but it looks like all of that iron is pretty much spoken for. Oh well, how many long is this? 12? Because this will pick up when we get mining productivity, but maybe we also just don't care about it. Maybe the goal is to just get all of those things built, and then also more of this framework over here. And if it looks like we're kind of getting close to those bots, those bugs, don't worry about it, we're going to go kill them. And yeah, because one of the things that Space Age changed in a kind of interesting way, oh yeah, this is definitely get the capsules in first. These are also all medium worms. Yeah, one of the things that Space Age changed in a pretty interesting way was a lot of... Yeah, a lot of the infinite researchers, there's a lot of research to do that doesn't need... Did we... Is this an expansion? Did we push a larger base past this first? Whatever. Doesn't actually matter. We're just going to wander in here and go, hey, buddy. How you doing? Let's not park the car on the acid. Let's not run out of ammunition. Let's help with the shotgun and the grenades that we have, because it looks like we are slightly running out of ammunition. You guys don't get to destroy my turrets. Yeah, we're fine. Especially if we are down to, if we're down to 1 nest, we are down to no nests. Yeah, there's, let's actually have a brief look at this in the tech window of all of the stuff that we are going to go on and, okay, you can't really tell because there's a lot of other faff going on at the same time. There's a lot more stuff that is, actually, where's steel productivity? Why have I not found steel productivity? Yeah, mining productivity 2 now goes into, oh, it goes into all colors of space science. It used to only go into purple science. Interesting. Steel productivity here is an infinite science we can just do with all of the purple science. So we don't need, yeah, if we're thinking about a 1.3 thousand science base, we don't really need to build 1.3 thousand of all sciences. We just need to worry about having big enough buffers to manage everything else that goes on. I think because these are also the lanes that are going to run out the fastest, aren't they? I think we do try and get some more on this side in a way that also connects the power. And yeah, we don't have to worry about building the same giant science for every... Where's the thing I can queue? Here. For every color of science, we can just worry about red, green, blue. We're going to need a lot for blue as well, aren't we? These guys should connect. They are connecting. Do we run this behind? Now let's mine more from the other side. Okay. And then we've got... Where are we smelting this? If we are looking at having five belts of smelting, maybe we should also give the bots the splitters that they need. If this is 5 belts of smelting and we're trying to drop this in... oh, this actually fits. Does it really fit? Because we're going to need space at the top and the bottom to get all these belts in. But I think if we put it... Actually, even if we put it like here... and... Yeah... That's going to be fine, because there's all of these cliffs in the way. The red chips build, I guess, is going over here. So I guess we smelt here and make red chips over here or something. These cliffs are mildly annoying. Oh, well, don't worry about it. Connect this stuff up. It's going to be fine. Yeah, okay. We needed iron over here. We wanted... bit of an extension in this direction as well. Where are we? I mean, we are spending a lot of roboports here, but I am fine with that. Where are... Oh, you know, those are the wires I can see connecting. Okay, so that's fine. Have bots pick all these rocks up too. Give bots jobs. Bots are... Yeah, we are currently not hugely utilizing the bots, but I think as soon as we can get down a couple more of these roboports, we should find that bots suddenly have a whole lot to do. And we are going to make sure that they need a variety of places to be fully charged. Where is... Yeah, the coal is down here, and we're going to need some of this... Actually, we should be doing this with red belt, because it's going to be significantly easier for bots to get it all done with red belt. Where are you getting through? Is that all going to work? Yes. Okay, so 2 red belts of coal for plastic. Bots are still waiting on every kind of module and upgrade and roboports. Are we just at the rate at which we are... Oh, we're just at the rate at which we are feeding in steel for roboports. There was a thing I was going to do about this, isn't there? Because this... Yeah, because we're still going half a belt of steel in this direction, and I think we can do better than that. I think we can put a splitter here and run this coal underground, and then just drop the steel also from the buffer on the other side of the belt, because we are currently... okay, it's because we also... Oh, but it's also because this splitter is not prioritizing in. That's pretty funny. Oh, well, never mind. Yeah, so we can drop half a belt of steel over here. That'll help all of these engines. It'll help the bot frames that are also needing the steel. It'll help the roboports. We do need to make sure that we keep sideloading here. Is this a good spot to be sideloading? Yes, because the batteries end up over here. So all that is fine. The gears and that problem is a situation that is solved and we are fine with. Okay, yeah, because one of the things we are thinking about is the amount of stuff we need to try and build purple science at something like 600 science per minute. Like if we need 10 rail each, if we need 10 rail for each of those, rail is, yeah, we need, so if we are trying to do 600 purple science per minute, that's 10 per second, which means we need 5 steel per second, which is a third of a yellow belt? That doesn't seem... I would have thought we would need more than that, to which we are just planning on building more than that with all of this. I think all of these are going to turn into iron that we just put on trains. Yeah, iron, steel. I think we're going to turn it into steel, put it on trains, because steel is a thing that is good to have on a train, and yeah, there are other rocks around the place that we can grab later just because it feels like it's a nice, effective thing to do. But I think most of all we need to worry about how and where we're building the rest of... We would have to destroy these 2 nests if we're going to claim all of this, which is a little bit of a nuisance. Do I have... Oh, I've got roboports. That changes a lot of things. Okay. Yeah, these... Look at all these... Look at all these entities. You can have a good time removing. Clear that out the way for me. Clear this. We also do want to be swapping a lot of these things into larger power poles where we can, so that we can drive in between things and not worry about hitting them as much. Yeah, power this. This rock in particular, I would like to get out of the way so that we can drop this in, and now we can see low power, that's fine, no robots, 3 out of 1700, all of this stuff getting built, very exciting. Let's have another robot over, yeah, another roboport over here as well, connect this up in the same way, and yeah, I don't really want to fight these guys yet, but I guess we are somewhat committed to it. Oh wait, we could build... These guys are going to need to disappear, and we're going to do the same red chips thing down here, aren't we? In fact, how many lanes of stuff can we fit on that? This is a red belt's worth, with the extra red belt hanging out the front as well. So, don't get in the way of the pump jack. That's 2 red belts of stuff just straight up there in a way that we like. Nearly. Not quite, but whatever. Yeah, where is a pump jack that has modules that I can copy? Because we are going to want to... Yeah, because maybe we... Thinking about where bottlenecks could go. Actually, maybe a bottleneck here, especially if this coast does interesting things, and a bottleneck here, especially if this coast does interesting things. So maybe we should actually go and verify what's going on with those. Before we go and... that one's not going to work. Before we get too excited about hooking all of this stuff up. But, yeah, power in here... Roboports in here, and just generally in this direction. Continue just making all the stuff, that's going to be fine. Bots are going to have, yeah, all these jobs. Okay, more, oh yeah, more bullets. This bit of the peninsula which we are scouting does look like it's doing the best case possible thing. All of this is just not territory we have to worry about expanding. Where is the hotbar? We want these guys. Because this base is definitely going to have to go away. Don't hit the rocks. Get the capsules on the worms. Is that enough of them? Maybe that's enough of them. Should we just start cannons on this side from the car? Yeah, sure, whatever. Because we are probably in a position to just dive straight in here and just do this kind of nonsense at this point. Help out on a little bit with the shotgun. Not really so much of a big deal. Yeah, so that other nest is also going to have to go. And then it's just figuring out where parts of the base are going to get put, and then having bots do that for a bit, because we're in the quite pleasant situation of having, we have de-artosified this little circuit gap here. We've now got this nice robust kind of mess sprawling all over the map. We're getting a little more grid-based. We're not really that grid-based yet, just the robots. We don't have train stations. Bots still have a lot of stuff to do. I did notice that down here in the desert, we are now polluting this expansion base. This base was also going to have to go away, so I think we go there next. But let's also just grab these turrets, blast these guys by the coast, and then think about which directions we are going to eventually be expanding, and then how are we getting through here? Expanding and then defending, because I would rather, like, if we find a number of this is an expansion that we're just going to go and kill as well. Yeah, the further away resource patches are, the better the resources in that patch in terms of both scale and richness. Can we just do this? You guys are going to have to not be here. I don't think worms can even duel me at this point. Sucks to be you. Sucks to be these guys as well. Yep, good job, you missed. I think we're fine. Yeah, we're fine. Okay. Yeah, because the further away resource patches are, the better they are in terms of size and richness, which means that I would like to lock down, say, this direction, lock down, maybe even, okay, I think we're going to go for a drive over here, because we want to see if we can figure out lockdown, say, here, and then just expand in one direction, although this... Yeah, expand in the least defensible direction. This looks pretty good for defenses as well. And have somewhat close walls in like 3 of the 4 directions, maybe down here. And then in this last direction, just expand and get more resources. Get all the things we need to build to have however many lanes of iron ore we need going into steels to support purple science. Yeah. This is kind of a weird archipelago looking thing, which I am fine with. I think we do want to, yeah, we want to scan. I mean, this is all going to be continuous landmass. Okay, there's a rock there. That's as much of the scanning as I want. But maybe here does look like it's a really good spot to lock that off. Who knows? Bots are somewhat without jobs. Again, I just noticed an unpowered pump jack, so we're just going to do the same thing of smashing in a bunch of mining. I think these ones feel like we don't have full coverage, but we can like tap some more on the other side as well. Yeah, there's a robo pump jack in here that is not connected. I think with the coal down this side, we kind of want the petrochem in here. Yeah, trying to figure out where all the smelting is going to go. If we are going to get... It looks like we could get 3 lanes of smelting off that copper. Maybe I should have a blueprint for this. I think we're also going to... Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy just building a bunch of stuff and then figuring out how to tag it in later, although we're going to need to get the coal over here as well. No big deal. Yeah, just tap that in like so, give bots jobs, make sure all the stuff is powered, figure out how to get coal in later, and I think that's going to have to go from the other direction. Oh well. This also looks like it's only going to have 2 lanes, but whatever. This is mostly just about giving bots jobs. Roboport's coverage is over the other side, but I think we're just going to go... Oh no, we do have robot... We did end up poking some of this through the middle as well. Sure. Connect all the things. Yeah, this is not super well done, is it? Never mind. Are you powered? And then yeah, when we do this, the reason I was thinking about that, or I don't like where this has gone, but whatever, is we want to have the petrochem building towards the coal, I think. Did we have... Yeah, let's not have you because you don't have the... Like, we're not going to be able to get a power pole in there, but I think we can also just grab... are we doing this 2 red lanes? This is apparently my 2 red lanes blueprint or whatever. We could do this differently. We're not going to bother. and slap that in there as well. None of those look like they are overlapping. It's almost like it's 100% speedrun, but not that organized. Oh, you are going to... Are you going to struggle? I don't know. We're going to worry about that later, I think. Wait, no, there's a roboport here and a roboport here. Are you on top of the coal? You are not on top of the coal, so I just don't think it matters. We might have to worry about the belts when we can get a better idea of what's going on. But yeah, I wanted to figure out where petrochem would go and stamp some of that in. I don't know how much we need. Maybe we should have... But this is all going to be plastic, isn't it? Because we are thinking about mostly doing all of this for red chips. So I think we can just go... smashy smash. Smashy smash. That's how it works these days, apparently. I still don't have landfill, which I like, because it means that we can queue the water and get pipes. Yeah, get the offshore pumps from it. Okay, so these refineries have water. We're going to need to figure out gas and things. Yeah, we're going to need to figure out... you should all be 362k. So those are these tanks, and it's also the network over here, which is cool. I think we are going to need some pumps. So I think we pull this back and go double pump here, because I don't know how much of the stuff we're going to use. But now we've got a new fluid network, which we can connect all the way down here somewhere. Yeah. Okay. So these refineries are all going to be processing everything, and then I think we are still going to need, like, we can need cracking in here as well, not super concerned. Tanks on the light oil. This is probably mostly just for, like, being able to queue... not that way. Okay, so we've got tanks on heavy oil, tanks on light oil, tanks on gas. I think mostly we're going to use these guys for circuit conditions. Somewhere we're going to need plastic. We're going to need this coal to get out here as well. No big deal. Let's go with all those bots having jobs. All those bots having jobs. Let's go and get rid of this other nest that's concerning us. Yeah, other reasons why we want the nests on this side of the base gone. We've kind of blocked ourselves in with where we've built all the solar, which is on one hand super cool, because we now have more than half the solar we need, and it's doing a huge amount of the grid work. We're still building it on the other side as well. The downside is we're still going to need to get trains through here. We're still going to need to connect all of these resources. I was also trying to think about where LDS gets built, and maybe that gets built in here somewhere, because we have coal, we have the copper, we have oil for plastic. Maybe we can just put an LDS on a train here or something like that. I'm not going to worry about that yet. Just going to make sure that these guys have a bad time. A couple of these grenades around the place to help with the worms. Bullets in turrets. I've still got most of the threat, which is cool, because it means that everyone was shooting at me and the turrets could just get to do everything they wanted to. It's fine. It does not look like we have picked up any expansions in this area either, which is one of the things that we just wanted to check. We are probably going to have to do more combat later as well, but for now we need to make sure that bots continue to have jobs and impress their friends. And in particular, we need a lot of efficiency modules. So I think over here, these guys, we're going to pivot to efficiency modules, and we're going to do it like so that none of the other chips fall out. But I think also at this point, like the only thing we care about high quality efficiency modules for is space. So I think we okay, I wanted to kind of downgrade these, didn't I? Yeah, these high quality modules can go to other places that want the high quality. The high quality prod mods can go in all of the purple science that is sitting around. Yeah, and then these guys actually probably we want high quality in them as well. And yeah, we've got a couple of actually, here is a place where this is not what I wanted to be doing at the moment, but whatever. These ones are assemblers that we can be building everything with quality. Yeah, sure. And then, yeah, other jobs we've got to make sure bots have all of this purple science. If we don't mess up the math in the way that we did previously, 10 rail per production science, which is 5 steel, but then we want 10 purple science per second, means that we want yeah, iron. We were going to worry about iron, weren't we? Yeah, means we want about 50 steel a second, which is much more what we expected. So this stuff over here looks like what we're going to use for that, which is why we are building these guys out in this direction. I think we do one more like so, and then also just continue one side of the scaffold, which is going to get out here, and then in the gap we can put more of this steel build, but we want to change a couple of things about it, in that we want all of this section in the middle. I think we're going to do the coal feed differently. We are going to do the coal feed differently. And yeah, giving bots a lot of jobs. The reason why we got rid of some of the scaffolders so we can have... Maybe we want to even start it further over. Whatever, we've put the scaffold there now. We also don't quite have range on the coal feed yet, which is hilarious, but never mind. Yeah, we are... Let's run this like so. Yeah, that is a way of getting coal into the steel build that I like. Yeah, more. Let's have a continued Roboport support as well. Or we just put that in a place where it's going to be mildly awkward, didn't we? Okay, so there is a coal feed we can put into the front of the steel. We kind of need some of these Roboports to get down before we can do the steel in the front, but that's okay. Did I also see... Yeah, we need 5 more refineries, so let's wander through here. Yeah, all of these guys want to be upgraded to high quality prod mods as well when we get them. But yeah, over here's some steel. Give me the steel. Also give me the iron if we're sitting around collecting iron, and then give me some of this steel, whatever, and we're just going to walk this... We're going to walk this back to the mall, but I think we are also going to walk this iron over to something that actually we already know what needs the iron. It's whatever's in the mall needs the iron. Yeah, all these guys are mostly running. If these guys can just all have the iron they want, probably those guys as well. And then there are a couple of boxes down here where all of the steel can get into the... Oh wait, what are you... You're limited to 2 stacks, which I think is fine. Quality might do some weird things there. We might jam it up in a bit of an awkward way, but never mind. Similarly for those things, whatever, don't care. Okay, that steel is the thing we wanted, but then we also wanted to think about... And where can we put these? I think we can put these here. We need more train stuff. Is going to be the next thing that bots are going to need to worry a lot about. I think both of these are just gears and plate, yes, which means we can just go and have... We're not going to worry about quality or anything in these guys. It kind of doesn't matter. Do I have... I must have boxes somewhere. I'm pretty sure bots have a lot of boxes like this. And we're just going to go to 2 stacks of each of these things, and then we are... also going to need to get the steel through. We're not going to need to get the steel through. We are going to cut... Do we want red bullets in the mall at all at this point? I don't think we do. I think we can take all of these yellow bullets and... we're going to do more combat with them. We'll save the yellow bullets for that combat. What we wanted was something that could somehow if we go here and here, I'm trying to figure out how we can have something that makes train stops, which means it needs to reach the steel and also the green chips, and also the plate, and then here we can have the poles we wanted. Yeah, we do need to work on banging more iron in here, don't we? That one is also going to be interesting. Let's have these guys over this side. One stack of train stops, not doing anything with train stop quality or anything like that. And then, say here, we can have outputs like so. Bots can also do this, and yeah, so now we can have a cache of poles if we want to handcraft anything with these poles. We'll prod mod that because we're likely to use a lot of them, and then yeah, we do just need to get more iron in here. That is one of the issues, and I guess it's also because several iron sources are running out. We're also pulling off more gears because we have boosted all of the red science, and I guess we've boosted, yeah, we've just speed moduled all that science, and so all of that stuff is trying to do everything that it can. Oh well, a little bit of a shame. Did I at least get... I've lost track of them. Okay, we've at least got one train station, and at least a couple of these guys. Okay, you guys can have everything else that I've got that I might want. You guys can have some gears. Let's just cut this mall here so we don't build up anything we don't want. You guys, yeah, still sad about your stuff, never mind, because we need to design some train stations. Is that true? Do we actually in the position of... Yeah, so we do need to design the train stations, but what we're going to do first is set up the rest of the steel with a new, more sensible fuel pattern, because now that we have the red belt, if this guy is red belt in the same way, this is 12 of these things, yeah, that's the 12 we wanted there. So let's do that on this side as well, and then we can have a very sensible, very normal fuel plan through here, and a red splitter, do it with a yellow splitter and an upgrade, and then just yellow belts in here. Do you have? You do not. We are going to need power through here as well. Where do these things connect? They will all connect if we do that, won't they? Then is this doing what we need it to? I still don't have the night vision goggles. We will need to get those into the queue. Yeah, there's still a lot of stuff we want here. We can go processing unit into beacon. We're going to want fluid wagon. Yeah, shields, yeah, there's a, as it turns out, a lot of things you need to do when you're trying to do a 60 times tech multiplier. I don't know if we want to turn on these mines yet, other than the coal, to get all of this coal in here. Oh, yeah, let's do the copy paste first. Okay, so red splitter, 2 lanes of stuff, red belt going into the steel. That's everything we wanted. Can we have you connecting to power here? That's going to be nice. And then how many... We just needed a lot of steel for the purple science, didn't we? We said something like 2 belts. We said something like 2 belts of... let's go all this way. I think we said something like 2 belts of... 2 red belts of steel. So, there happens to be a position in here that we can throw a couple of these guys. We're going to have to worry about the outputs later as well. This stone I think we also want. I think we want to turn this into wall. And then I think we want to put wall on a train. Let's also see if we can... Actually, this one here, we're not going to need that so much. It's going to be fine. Okay, connect these guys down this side. We're going to need... Here's a little roboport line that we can run through here. Looks pretty good. Yeah, we're going to move this because I don't like having these two quite so close together, but whatever, redundancy, it's going to be fine. Yeah, we're going to mine this iron and get it in here. We're going to build the roboports out to Do I still have this? Yeah, these 3 roboports in my paste buffer. Where can these go? Can we put these guys here? And then also just connect them up like so. And then go back to a quite normal roboport scaffold in this direction. How close is that taking us to the biters? We're still far away enough from the biters to not have to worry about that. And then bots should have a lot of jobs. We should be able to buffer coal as soon as we get the coal in here like so. And then do we do... Okay, we missed. Whatever. Doesn't actually matter. Yeah, we need to drop mining on that as well. We can do that in a bit. Let's get some of these roboports in before we actually try to mine all of the stone, which I think we want to turn into wall. We've got to try and figure out how to get train stations in here as well. For wall, I would like a pattern that does... We're only going to need half of this, aren't we? We're going to need roughly this much. Where is this going? We're going to drop it over here? Are we? We are now. Oh, wait, we've got this, Oh, no, this map has trolled me. This is actually not coal. That is a terrain that looks like coal on the map. We're still using this coal. But we've also got more wall that we can have over here. I think we're going to put... we actually can't... Oh, we've got space in here. Yeah, okay, so we are going to do this bit differently. One of the things I was trying to figure out how to work, and at this point we are going to realize that we want some rail because we want to plan where these undergrounds will go, and that's going to be easier to do... Yeah, if we actually do a thing with a rail planner. So those are at full extension. That means that more rails will fit through here as well. I don't think we want that. I don't think we want that at the moment, but I think we're going to bear in mind where they will be. And then all of these guys are doing what they need to, and we've got 14 on one side and slightly less than that at the other, so that is all fine. Okay, that steel build is happening. Yeah, this guy still needs to get power. We're going to come back and build a wall on a train later, and the main thing we are doing... Yeah, there are like 3 kinds of train stations we want to think about having at this point. There's the train stations here where we will be loading the steel, and that will be the same kind of pattern of train station as things that are... Where are you getting fuel from? Although this, we were bringing this over to make plastic here. Okay, where's my plastic? It's going to be over by the red chips, isn't it? It's going to be in here somewhere. Yeah, so this is... These guys together are one red belt of plastic. So let's grab all of that. I think we've got everything we need to. And then I think we're going to try and do... We've got 2 red belts of coal. We've got hopefully enough copper here. I'm trying to figure out how much plastic I need, and can we drop it in... We can actually drop it in around the roboports. I like that. So that's 1 belt of plastic. This here is another red belt of plastic if we do this stuff separately. Yeah, get all this stuff out the way. Thanks. Red belt? Do we have? We don't have red belt on a toolbar yet. I was about to set up this toolbar for all of the... For all of the rail stuff we're about to need. You, I guess, are going this way, and you're coming in like so, and we wanted to run this underneath. And then I guess we're jumping these underneath again, because somehow we've got to get the gas in here. We also don't have cracking yet, so this is just straight up not going to work. And why are you guys not running? Because you don't have any of the inputs. I am sure... Oh, you don't have... You don't have offshore pumps, and then you don't have regular pumps. Okay, so pumps are the problem, that's fine. So the fact that this is not connected to... Yeah, the fact that this has no cracking and will all jam up is fine. And then I think we take these two coal belts, of which one is... Yeah, we run them in... one here and one here. And we're going to want to jump underneath this section, I guess. And we run them past all of this plastic. And you can also go underneath here. Yeah, we were talking about train stations. One of the things we need to figure out is where the train stations go, what size they will be. This is going to run through here. We're going to want another red splitter here, which is going to lane balance. Do we need... Maybe we still need a red belt of coal? There's no way we need a red belt of coal for the amount of smelting we're trying to do, is there? Whatever. Okay. In that case, I think we can go back to... And also, probably we've taken most of the stuff off the belt at that point. Yeah, we can just downgrade all of this to yellow. It's going to be fine. This lined up really nicely, and we can get it in here. Yeah, the types of train stations we need to build. Red chips, steel, green chips, and blue chips are all things that don't take much train space, which is super nice. These are red belts of smelting. We needed the third one of these guys around here, but that's fine. Already red splitters here. Okay. And one here, and I guess we can figure out how to mix these later, but we need to get another one in here. These guys should be mostly full belts for the most part. Do I have... I've got pumps, I've got the offshore pumps. I can't easily build more of these offshore pumps, but you guys have all of the stuff that I might want. And yeah, we've got to design some train stations, which is why I was putting together this new hotbar of train stuff. When I figure out... Yeah, here they are, though we were already looking at them. Oh, we also need to automate the wagons, and we need to automate the wagons and the locomotives, and it struck me that here might be... Okay, first of all, you keep going. Because I don't think we're going to want to buffer more than a stack of flamethrowers. Actually, we're going to need to give it 2 stacks if we've given it the quality. That's going to be interesting. But it also struck me that just here is a place where we could automate locomotives, because we've got everything we need. Okay, we're actually going to move this down 1 tile. And I don't think automotives are worth giving quality. So yeah, you hand off your items in that direction, and then we can have another chest here, which is limited to... Okay, so now we've got locomotives automated, we've got a decent supply of flamethrowers and a lot more flamethrowers, and that's all fine. You have the modules that I got. Yeah, the flamethrowers we're doing with quality, which, I mean, we're probably not going to leverage, but never mind. Yeah, we still don't have... Maybe we have enough iron getting in here to make all these assemblies we need to. Whatever. How is science going? It's fallen back to 600. Is that just the rate of... Yeah, that is the rate of green science, and it shows up as short on this labs build because of the way the inserters wrap around and do the other build first, and then this spot with the fewest inserters is going into the other. Yeah, so we're just... At the rate we are collecting iron, that's fine. I did also see that there continue to be miners running out from the starter patches, which is to be expected. Oh, here's the other wall we've got. Okay, whatever. We're going to worry about that later. And then we also wanted landfill in the queue, didn't we? So we'll get that into the queue. Do we have 4,500? We probably have... Oh yeah, we are super good for the amount of purple science. Purple science is doing great things at the moment. We have a couple of quality modules that we are not going to worry about now because we wanted to design some train stations because that was kind of the whole point. And we're going to try and do this somewhere where we don't have too much stuff in the way. We also do still... Okay, let's do this outside of bot coverage area. Probably should have driven over here in a car, but never mind. But we do have some of the helpful train things automated already. Okay, we are going to go... Oh, we actually need the... Yeah, we actually need the rail to exist before we can see where train stations go. But we're going to design two kinds of train stations, and we are going to think about putting things on the trains in kind of small volumes, taking them off in kind of small volumes, because we are thinking about iron into steel. We're thinking about where's my blueprints for this? We're thinking about bricks into wall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lanes. Oh, this is super inconvenient. There is a cliff here. Actually, that's not true. We can keep some of this. We just can't keep all of it. That's a weird spot for an inserter to be going. Okay, wild, whatever. Yeah, so this much of the steel isn't going to work. Never mind. And then we're going to want to bring this underground. So that's all a little bit of a shame. Yeah, I think we do want... Because I do want more steel. And I think these patches will be able to support more steel. And so we're going to go this far and drop it on the... Yeah, we have to move it to here to not be in the way of the cliff, which is also completely fine. More undergrounds. Are these guys connecting here, so that's fine. This top line actually not connecting, never mind. Okay, so we've got a pile of places that steel can be. We got some cliffs in the way, that's fine. This needed to be set one back because we've still got to do the outputs. And then we were trying to figure out how and where steel... Yeah, how and where the stone would be mined to be turned into... Oh yeah, we were going to use the other one as well. We'll set up this one first. Maybe that's what we should do here. Maybe we should move this back, have a splitter here, so that we can run some of this coal and a small amount of this coal out, over to where we can... Yeah, this is good. We can have some stone smelting here. Is there still... Oh, we don't need train station space around that side because we made sure there was train station space down here. Amazing. Good. Enjoying that a whole lot. Let's slap in some stone that can mine us, that we can turn into wall. Is that 7? I think I counted 7. That is... I mean, I think we still plan on having this amount of mining productivity, but I also don't think it really super matters. We are going to want to make sure we get this stuff at the back side as well, because it's there. Let's just run it around this way. I did not plan on having a gap of that size in that position, but knowing there is one, we're just going to drop a roboport in there, so that's going to be fine. Yeah, these guys... we can do something about as well. Not super concerned. Let's actually get this stuff out the way. Are they in the right direction? Maybe they're in the right direction. Yeah, okay. Power pole here, another roboport here. We will be able to do all the things. And then we were going to... Yeah, we were going to have the stone... We are kind of multitasking all the things. We're not really multitasking all the things. We wanted... this much of a steel build? Yes. And then we put it, I guess, here. I guess, here. And we actually want the inserters on the outside to be fast inserters, because that's the only way that these will keep up. Is that going to be... Yeah, this is the right number for what we're going to do, isn't it? We want red belt through here. Like so. So we can have 2 red belts of... here, I think, is probably where, if we upgrade these guys, do they connect? They do not. That is where they connect. Okay, so we can have 2 red belts of... 2 red belts of stone getting in, 2... So this should give us a full... wait. If this is 2 full red belts of stone going in, we are going to need 2 full red belts of stone coming out, which means these guys also need to be upgraded, and then we can have a red belt here of... yeah, a full red belt of bricks into wall, and I reckon we just put wall on a train, and also we're going to need quite a lot of it. We're just going to slap these guys in here. Are we going to even worry about bricks? I don't even think we worry about bricks for purple science here. I think we... yeah, worry about powering this stuff. There's some more stone to tap in here later. Here is... we have made it slightly difficult to access this section. Can we do that better? I mean, a thing we can do just slightly is move these in like so, so that we can have fuel here in a normal way, and then power pole here, power pole here. We can kind of drive past here, but it's not super easy. And all these guys are going to get their fuel. We're going to worry about the iron for steel later, because we also kind of need to push a nest. Bots have lots of jobs. Let's go and design the rest of these train stations, because these are going to be the small trains. Yeah, so the 3 kinds of train stations are the train stations that will load compact items like the steel, like the wall. The unloading station for the same, which is going to be super straightforward. In fact, I think we are just going to go... we could probably even do bulk inserters here, and we can probably even get away with fewer of them. But we do want these big poles, because they get good coverage. And I think because we are thinking about smaller train stations, we can do like a 2-4-2 pattern. So yeah, what we're going to do is we're just going to put this straight on a belt. Although we don't know in which, like, we don't know whether or not we want. So that those are the 4 wagons to the middle, but we don't actually know which way this belt goes. And then we would also like to do the same on the other side. And one of the things I like about this, it is a super compact train station that, I mean, we're doing a front-to-back thing. We're still going to be able to get a red belt off this train. Rather than having buffers at this station, we're going to continue to do the same thing that I often do, and have multiple train stations in the same spot. So this is going to be our basic unloading pattern, which will pull... yeah, front to back, for whatever that means when we've got double-headed trains. Yeah, give me... oh no, bots are bringing the stuff out later, because I wanted to figure out where the signals would have to go, and I can't actually find that out until bots have brought the rest of the stuff. So, yeah, if we can get some blueprints that we can put on this toolbar... are we going to need robots here, roboports on this as well? Whatever, we'll worry about that later. So we've got an unloading train station pattern. The loading train station pattern is going to be worse. And then the third kind of train station we want to think about, which I don't think we're thinking about yet, is spots like this are eventually going to run down their iron mining, and we are going to need to bring more materials here to turn into the steel. And this is kind of also why we've got so much space between the various parts of the mall, because it will mean that trains that turn up here with the iron and the copper that we need to be able to build all the red chips we want. And can we just also just have, please, a whole ton of bots also working on putting the... Do we need that iron? We've got maybe 2 lanes of iron here. We've got maybe 2 lanes of plastic, 2 red belts of plastic. So I think that's actually enough iron. The thing we really want is to figure out where this copper can go. And I think we're going to start... I mean, smash it in there, it's going to be fine. This mixed interface is going to have to be a thing we think about. But then also, where does the build go? And I think that means the build goes in here. Maybe? Connect that there. More roboports. Wait, where is... So we're going to need 2 lanes of this cooking as well, which means I think we're just going to go... Maybe we should have run that copper in a different direction, but I don't think we're really concerned. Where is... Yeah, so this... Get that ghost in so that we can reverse all of this stuff in a sensible way. And then somewhere here there is a ghost, which we will also, through the power of ghosting stuff, also put that in a different way. And then these 2 belts here are going to wind around that power pole and I guess up like so. Bots are going to have a lot of jobs. That's okay. Bots like having jobs. And yeah, I haven't really thought about how many lanes of copper we need to balance this. Oh, didn't we discover it was from over here? We figured out it was 3 into 5 to make all of this work, except we're doing it with red belts now instead of yellow, which means that not over there, that's going to be for the blue chips. Yeah, and then over here we did the also a similar kind of thing. Oh no, wait, this is only for green chips. Never mind. Yeah, so we might already be in the position of needing to train in more copper ore for all of this, in which case I think we want to get all of this stuff out the way. And I don't know if we're going to use all of the smelting, but whatever, we are going to just bang in a whole pile more smelting, because why not? That much more? Maybe. What else are we doing with this space? So that, yeah, where are we? We could train in copper from here. There's a ton of copper. There's iron out here, which we might also have. We are... Yeah, pleasantly not... Wait, what's that? That is forest expansion. It is not actually a base we are polluting here. We don't necessarily have to worry about that so much yet. And we have a decent amount of redundancy in the grid. Okay, yeah, we might already need to worry about training in enough copper to turn this into the size of red chips node we're thinking about, but hopefully all this stuff is so far apart that when we want to add the stations to bring in extra iron, extra copper from other places, we've got places to be able to make all of that fit. And then we've just got a whole pile of other belts to connect things. Did we want this to be running already? I think we did. I think we were expecting this to be running already. We just haven't got it done. That's another place we're also going to be building red chips. No big deal. So, 3 kinds of train stations. An unloading train station is done. A loading train station, which we are going to make worse. And I've got a pattern that I'll quite like for this that is actually a good station, but people may not believe me. That's fine. We want to go loading in here, upgrade the ones going onto the train, and then also have some number pulling from the other side as well. And less than 6 on this side because it helps the compactness, and then we're going to do some nonsense. Which way I guess we can copy and paste this later to figure out which way we're loading things, but also we probably need, yeah, we're going to need, because if we are, oh no wait, we can fuel things from the other side, can't we? So these could in fact just be 2 input belts, although I would rather think about, oh, I've actually got them. That was not what I was expecting. Yeah, if we do 2 input belts like so, this is kind of a layout we're going to copy and paste around the place and use a whole bunch. Did we even get, we did get that in the right place, and then we're going to go splitter. Actually, that's in the wrong place. It wants to be here. Yes. Because this is why we've also only got 4 on the inside, so that we can run this guy underneath, and it can go over here, which is ideal. Okay, so the plan of this thing is we can put 2 red belts of stuff on a train. This splitter needs to be upgraded to fast, which I suspect we don't have anymore. We're just waiting on, I guess we don't have enough iron for pipes or something. All of these guys get powered by both sides of this build, but then the next thing we do is, actually, is this guy going to have enough space to kick out? Maybe. So the way this works is, oh yeah, also all these boxes need to be limited to 8 stacks. If we've got 8 stacks, oh, we did that wrong. We basically want 1 wagon's worth of buffer in each of these chests. And then the front 2 wagons here, which I think we've laid out correctly, yeah, and there's space for fuel, so that's all going to work. The front 2 wagons are going to get half of this stuff, and then we're going to want to do the same thing on, maybe, oh yeah, this is just going to work, isn't it? We are just going to have space for this. So yeah, this is one of those things that you might not think is a good pattern, but it actually is. We don't want to combine these two here. We don't want to sideload this. Basically, the way this works is, yeah, it's going to be a little nasty, but whatever, it's going to all be fine. Yeah, if we are loading a train of 4 wagons, all these boxes are going to have enough to immediately just fill up each wagon when it's present. The ones on the other side will also make sure that we are pulling from the belt as new stuff is arriving at the station. And this weird layout means that, yeah, if we don't have enough stuff in the chests to immediately fill a train that's at the station, then the wagon at the front that probably has less in the chest, because these chests are filling first, is the one that gets to pull from the belt first. And so if we are waiting for the station to produce stuff, this is a nice way that will make sure we can have, yeah, that everything gets on the train nice and fast. It will distribute things well enough between the 2 wagons. It's also super compact, so we can have, and we will have, a bunch of these things next to each other. It won't cache more than 2 trains worth of stuff in a station, but I think we are fine with that. Did we end up building, we have built the night vision goggles. Okay, let's go and do that. The reason why we were here is to find the toolbar with the signals on it, and then figure out, yeah, if we've got 2 trains, if we have two locomotives in either direction, and we do something like this, then we've got enough space for the 4 wagons, enough space for the 2 locomotives on either end, and then, yeah, I've got these things. Bots have also got these things at this point. This is going to be, let's actually just check that. Yeah, so we do have these guys limited. We can put 2 belts of stuff in here and it gets mixed, so the front and back 2 wagons are fine. This pattern we can blow up into larger things as well, and we also, like, as long as we have a number of wagons that divides how many belts we're putting in, and then also because this is compact enough, we can just do this with more trains for throughput if we like. I'm pretty happy using this as an extensible pattern for a bunch of things, but at the moment what we want is a blueprint of all of this, including the signals. Can we not take the train stop name? and maybe we'll come up with a better name for this later, but whatever. Yeah, train station. I need to figure out, can we have here, is there like an arrow or something? So this is going to be like, okay, yeah, let's have this one be the train, and then this item being the arrow into the train station, because this is the loading train station pattern, which is what we want. Oh yeah, which is called a loading pattern. And this will do us 2 red belts of worth of stuff. I think we still need to maybe work on the inserter capacity upgrades, but that is a blueprint that I'm happy with, and that's going to be our train loading station. And then this thing here, of also the same size, again, but this is the unloading station. So, station name, yeah, no, not actually the station name. Entities, not train stop names. Why did I get a tick for entities here? Curious. I don't think there's any tiles or anything like that we've got in there. And then we can figure out where these things will go relative to... Yeah, no, we don't want any of this stuff. Thanks, bots. We have designed that. Now we can figure out where those things are going to go relative to the things we have built but are not yet running. And I wanted steel, which we don't have. Do you need steel? You actually don't need steel. Flamethrower fuel is pretty fine now, as it turns out. I did need... Oh, that's why, because we had exactly the quality problem that we thought we might have. Cool, fine, not really a thing we're concerned about. I wanted steel. You should be able to give me steel, because we might be in the pleasant position of being able to actually put something in our armor. Yeah, just one of these. Get the steel out of my inventory, get the red chips out of my inventory. We're actually doing something with the modular armor. We've had solar panels in it for ages, we've had batteries in it for ages, now it's actually doing something. I think we probably want 2 more solar panels, and we're probably a personal roboport. We'll get around to that at some point. Science is, yeah, doing science things. Okay, let's figure out, I mean, first of all, we're gonna have to go and kill these dudes as well, aren't we? No big deal. We are still waiting on... We want all these guys to be powered. We want... this kind of... we're just going to front load one of these things into the other. We're not super concerned about this at all. I can see us having... all of this brick backing up. Why did... Oh yeah, because we need to take this 1 square further so that we can get stuff on the inside. But yeah, we can have all of the stone getting in. We need more roboports over here as well. Let's double roboport this. We're going to get all of the... Yeah, we're going to get all of the wall we want, and then we're going to figure out how to train that back. And that was kind of... That was the next thing we were going to think about, wasn't it? Because all of this is pretty much irrelevant. Is that fair? Yeah, just make sure that this is all full, although it's not really going to matter, is it? Whatever. We're going to have a lot of bricks, we're going to have a lot of wall, we're going to have a lot of wall in roboports. We need to connect up that iron mining, but I think we want to push this base first. And then, I guess, I mean, is the military science actually struggling for wall? And the answer to that is no. The military science is just running. Do we have... We still need more uncommon quality prod mods, but this is also a place where uncommon quality prod mods are going to do good things. Solar is... We do need to drop some more solar. These modules are also... And we also researched a tech with purple science. We've got beacons. We should be beaconing these guys. Okay, that's actually the thing we want to do next. And can we figure out a place over here Yeah, the space platform silo is doing great stuff. I was wondering if we could figure out over here a space to have beacons. We've got, because we've got steel here, we've got coils here, we've got an, like if we drop something in here, if you are going to make us beacons, and I think that is going to be what we do, and then also have quality beacons. Quality beacons sound like they're going to be doing good work. We've actually got quality speed module upgrades as well. Hilarious. Never mind. Okay, because we can go... How are we going to get you all the steel you want? If we do this... That strikes me as nasty and going to be fine, to be honest. Okay, and then we also want to be able to give you all the kinds of chips you want. We also want to be able to give you outputs, and I think we just go straight to 4 stacks of beacons. I mean, there's quality. I think we take this one and we go use filters normal quality, so that this one might get several kinds of things, including normal quality, no big deal, but high quality stuff won't block the output of the top chest. And then the only other thing we need is the coils, and we talked about how there were coils here we could use. I think we're going to do a cheeky thing. As it turns out, if anyone is surprised by that, if we have, like, there should be holes in the belt on the side closer to the red ship. So if we do a nasty thing like this, then we've probably got a way of getting coils in like so, and we can just go like that. It's fine. We have automated beacons. This is everything everyone wanted. Can we get now, can we immediately just go to beacons? And we want to keep the beacons away from the things that are making these quality modules. But do we have... We've got 5. We've got 5 speed, yeah, quality speeds modules, which we can just immediately start using. I think then we go to regular speed beacons, and we are already... Oh, this is not going to do... This is not going to do a whole lot, because we are already limited by the number of prod mods we're getting through here. But we could do that better. Let's get rid of this power pole. I don't think we... Oh, there's not quite space here, is there? There's kind of space here. You're going to go there. You're going to get a different layout, because why not? You're special, congratulations. And now we have, you know, slightly more. We still don't want to be speed beaconing these. Do we have... Oh yeah, because we're still working on 1.2 thousand efficiency modules. This is all going to do everything we need it to, which is nice. And then if we do get... So we need more prod mods, which is more rail. We are going to need more stone in there as well. And we kind of had this layout for the stone. Yeah, why not? We're just going to grab... We're just going to grab a line of stone here and do that. Oh, wait. We actually wanted... This is still just yellow. And this... The goal here is that we can get ourselves up to a full belt of... Maybe we should do this with a no, it doesn't matter. We can just dump it in here, can't we? Because we still only have a full red belt of steel coming in. Because we might not necessarily have 2 full belts of stone if we are... Okay, we've got this wall as well, which I think we like, and we're just going to double down on. Why not? Bots still have... Yeah. Okay, all of that's fine. Yeah, we might not get fully 2 belts of stone if we are pulling in 3 here and smelting 2 into bricks, if all of that is running. What was this supposed to be? Oh, this was also supposed to be landfill. Also fine with that. You guys have a lot of space to put landfill when you get around to doing it, whatever. And then down here, The other idea was also going to be, what if we could find a large power pole to queue, which should be over here. We probably should just have a hotbar for these as well. Oh wait, they're on the rail hotbar, aren't we? We just built that hotbar. And can we also please just extend this Roboport business this way as well, so that everyone connects up and is fine, and we are not trusting this little power line quite as much, which we, I mean, probably still could get rid of. Okay, we also don't have wagons in the mall anywhere. Maybe we should go get more iron so we can build the wagons. That's an issue. Okay, what do wagons? Wagons need basic stuff and steel, yeah? Plate, gears, steel. Can we do that in this mall? Plate, gears, steel. Could we put more wagons over here if we can just get more iron? And it is actually a smelting thing. We just aren't pulling in, because we do have, all the way out here, we have this iron, of which we have already made sure the bots can get to. So, where could we... I think what we do, given that we want to eventually boost all of this blue science as well, and if we can do that in place, we will be happy. Can we have another 2 belts of iron cooking, just on the other side of this Roboport, just like here or something? Thanks, that'd be nice. And then you can continue. Did we line that up correctly? We even kind of lined it up correctly. That's exciting. This should... yeah, so this power connects to this Roboport. Maybe we should have put that in a different place, but whatever. And somehow we're going to figure out how to get that iron in here, with the result that... okay, let's do... oh yeah, because you're also just waiting on the iron. Cool, great. Yeah, over here, did we have... no, those are old patterns that don't use the undergrounds. That's a smelting thing. That's the same smelting thing. This is not a full line. Okay, I don't think we have the blueprint we want. That was the full line of smelting of 14 miners, like so. But if we get... if we just smash 3 of these in here... I think the... okay, that one is going to stay. These others are not going to stay. Should we get... how much mining is over here, and is this still running? It's still a little bit down. We've got 119. That is going to do 4 belts for a little bit. But yeah, I'm thinking if we're going to do something like this, then we may as well... I mean, to be honest, what we may as well do is grab the rest of this thing, line it up here, so that we can continue to have another line here. We can pull more. I guess we could turn it into red belt here rather than doing kind of some other orthogonal mining off the side, but whatever, this is also going to work just fine. And this is going to run through here. Is that too many on one side? 15 versus... yeah, it's a little too many on one side, isn't it? Okay. In that case, we are just going to belt balance this dude. And then we have, again, several places. Yeah, this is going to be 2 more lanes of iron that we are going to bring in generally this direction, of which this will be... oh, we kind of got it in a silly place, didn't we? We don't need these exactly where they are. They can just go to the side a little. And maybe we want more than this? I don't think we need more than that, do we? Okay, so all these guys are connected. They're all going to be fueled as soon as that happens. We're going to need... where are these things getting in? We could do this with undergrounds to save bot jobs, but we're also just going to have an employment scheme for bots so that they all continue to have jobs. And yeah, I think this is probably going to be the last thing we do this episode. It feels like it's getting towards episode length. Did not want that in that place. The landfill is nearly here. We are going to want, I think, red splitters to go... Red splitter here because we've got 2 belts of stuff. And then also red splitter here. Is that... Yeah, to go left, left. This should do what we want, and then we have another red belt here in a manner that... Yeah, in a manner that will prioritize one of these lanes, of which we kind of don't care because we've got enough miners on both of them, but this also means that this red belt here, when we get around to tapping in this red belt to top up these other sources, which might be running out, we should be able to get more iron in here. Oh yeah, because this whole thing, as well as about getting more iron in there, was also so that we could wander over here and go, you know what this looks like? This looks to me like a spot where we could be putting in some more mole. In particular, I think we could have, in a place that probably a lot of people will hate, we are going to be making wagons here. So, actually we kind of want this to be up 1. Yes, because we would like to be able to take steel from this line here. Actually, it doesn't matter, does it? Because it's, yeah, we should have enough steel to do things in both places. We shouldn't have to worry about which steel is going to be the more in-demand items. So, take steel from there. Have a box. I still don't have boxes. Box here. Maybe you only get iron from one line. Does it matter? No, because there's a splitter there, and the pipes are taken from both anyway. So, nice. Get in here, get me 4 stacks of stuff. We probably should continue running science. Personal Roboport is a thing we wanted. The landmines we definitely want. Explosive damage is going to be great. Accumulators. All of this stuff is super useful. And we just need all of it, and I'm going to need to work through all of it, because I still don't think we have the 30k purple science we need to get Automation 3 underway. The other thing we're going to need in here somewhere are more Roboports, which I have. You can go here, and we are now... Oh wait, we needed gears as well. That was the other reason why we were here. You've got gears. Congratulations. Okay, so we have automated wagons. We have automated... Yeah, the labs are running again. We were dead for, you know, a minute. No big deal. 60 times multiplier. We have, yeah, a number of bases just to connect. We have some train station patterns we can drop around the place. We have this red chips that we are probably close to... okay, let's actually power this guy on. We have some red chips that we are close to building using a pattern that we've already got. Let's check on the purple science to see whether or not we have successfully beaconed it. And we have in fact successfully beaconed it. We are now running less of the purple science because we just need more prod mods, which is actually fine because this is prioritizing the purple science that has the larger productivity bonus. Yeah, we're going to do more train stuff next time. We are still just building things out. Things going pretty well. We are still nowhere near space, but it's fine.